I never thought my quiet life in a suburban neighborhood would turn into a heart-pounding drama, but that's exactly what happened last month. My name's John Harper, a retired Navy vet living in Willow Creek, a tidy little community with perfect lawns and, unfortunately, a homeowners association led by the most controlling woman I've ever met. I've got end-stage kidney failure, which means I need dialysis 3 times a week to stay alive. My nurse, Lisa, has been coming to my house every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for nearly a year. She's a pro always on time, always keeping me going. That is, until Diane Thompson took over as HOA president 6 weeks ago. Diane hit the ground running with her iron fist. From day one, she was all about power, not community. She rolled out absurd rules like clockwork, no trash cans VY Cybele from the street, mandatory approval for even a wreath on your door, and the kick here a new VY cider policy demanding a guest list submitted 48 hours in advance for anyone entering our gated neighborhood. I raised hell at the last HOA meeting, pointing out how ridiculous this was for someone like me, who relies on medical VY, sits to serve VYV. Diane just gave me a tight-lipped smile and said, "Rules are rules, John. No exceptions." I should have seen the storm coming, but I never imagined she'd push it this far. It was a Wednesday morning when everything exploded. I woke up feeling like death me body screaming for dialysis to clear the toxins poisoning my blood. Lisa was due at 9 a.m., same as always. By 9:15, my phone buzzed. "John, I'm at the gate, but this woman won't let me in," Lisa said, her voice tense. "She says I'm not on some approved list, and I need to leave saw. My stomach dropped. I'd forgotten Diane's VY cider policy had kicked in that very day. "Put her on," I said, dragging myself upright, my head already spinning. Diane's voice was like nails on a chalkboard before Lisa even handed her the phone. "This is a private community. You need authorization to enter, and I don't care what you're here for." I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "Diane, it's John Harper. Lisa's my dialysis nurse. She's here 3 times a week, and I saw this treatment to live. Please let her in." Her response dripped with smugness. "You should have followed protocol, John. Form 22B for medical personnel, submitted for board approval. This is about safety." I begged, explaining this wasn't some random VY cider, but a regular, life SA VYing treatment. She didn't budge. "Rules apply to everyone. No exceptions. Tell your nurse to leave, or I'm calling the cops for trespassing." My breathing was getting shallow, the room starting to tilt. I was running out of time. "Diane, this could kill me," I said, my voice shaking. "Please, just this once." Her reply was ice cold. "Not my problem. You should have planned ahead." I hung up, my hands trembling, and called Lisa. "Try the south entrance. Maybe you can slip through." 15 minutes later, she called back, panic in her voice. "John, she's chasing me in a golf cart. She's got other HOA people patrolling the gates. I can't get in." By now, I was fighting to stay conscious. Nausea hit hard, and the world was spinning like a bad carnival ride. Classic signs my kidneys were failing me. "Lisa," I gasped, "call 911. Tell them it's a medical emergency." What happened next, I pieced together later from neighbors and police reports because I was barely hanging on. Lisa called emergency SARE VYCES, explaining the situation. Paramedics arrived 10 minutes later, only to find Diane parked at the main gate, arms crossed, looking like she owned the world. "You need HOA authorization to enter," she snapped. "This is private property, and I decide who comes in." The lead paramedic, clearly stunned, said, "Ma'am, we're responding to a life or death call. You can't legally stop us." Diane doubled down, her face flushed with rage. "Do you have a VY cider pass? Where's your paperwork? How do I know you're not thieves in uniforms?" Neighbors started gathering, some filming on their phones as Diane's voice hit a fever pitch. "We have protocols. Who's responsible if you're not real paramedics?" That's when Officer Daniels from the local PD rolled up, responding to the chaos. Later, he told me it was the wildest call of his 15-year career. "Ma'am, step aside saw," he ordered. "You're interfering with emergency SARE VYCES, and that's a crime." Diane wasn't VYing it. "I'm the HOA president. These people need to follow procedure. Meanwhile, I crawled to my front door, unlocked it, and collapsed on the floor, fading in and out. I heard sirens, then footsteps rushing in as the paramedics finally got past Diane thanks to Officer Daniels threatening to cuff her on the spot. I woke up in the hospital, where I spent 3 days recovering from a toxic buildup that doctors said could have killed me if delayed any longer. My niece, Sarah, a lawyer, VY cited and was spitting mad when I told her the story. "This isn't just HOA nonsense, Uncle John," she said, her eyes blazing. "This is criminal." She saw news saw you could die and blocked help anyway. Sarah got to work, filing a police report and rallying neighbors who'd also been burned by Diane's power trip. Turns out, she'd banned a kid's birthday party over a non-compliant, bouncy castle, threatened to fine an elderly couple for their unregistered grandkid, and even turned away a plumber during a water leak emergency. The video of Diane blocking the paramedics blew up online, with local news stations eating it up. Diane's name was trending locally, and reporters were hounding anyone who'd talk. Instead of backing off, Diane sent a community-wide email claiming she was just enforcing rules we all agreed to and accusing me of milking my illness for special treatment. That email was her undoing. Even her HOA cronies couldn't defend her anymore. A week after I got out of the hospital, I was sipping coffee on my porch when 3 police cars pulled up to Diane's house across the street. I watched, jaw dropped, as Officer Daniels and 2 others knocked on her door. Even from my porch, I could hear her screeching, "This is outrageous." I was protecting our community. They explained she was under arrest for reckless endangerment and obstructing emergency care, VYCS. "You can't arrest me for following rules," she shouted as they cuffed her and led her to the squad car. Neighbors clapped, and a news crew caught it all, making her humiliation complete. The DA threw the book at her. Diane faced up to 5 years in prison for reckless endangerment, plus a due law 100,000 CI VYL suit Sarah was spearheading. At her bail hearing, the judge set bail at due law 50,000 and ordered her to stay 500 feet from me and my house. When Diane heard the potential sentence, her smug facade cracked. "I was just doing my job," she stammered to the judge, who wasn't impressed. "Your HOA title doesn't let you play God with someone's life, Ms. Thompson," he said. "Maybe read state law as closely as your bylaws." As they led her away, Diane's face crumpled, and for the first time, she had nothing to say. The neighborhood's still buzzing about it. Diane's arrest was a wake-up call about how far HOA power can go when unchecked. I'm back to my dialysis routine, grateful to be alive, but I can't shake the what-ifs. What if Lisa hadn't called 911? What if the police hadn't shown up? It's a story that's got everyone talking, and I'm betting you've got thoughts too. Was Diane just a stickler for rules, or did she cross a line into dangerous territory? Should HOAs have the power to control access like this, especially in emergencies? And what would Saw You Saw have done if you were in my shoes or Diane's? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if this story got your blood pumping, and subscribe for more real-life drama. Let's get this conversation going.